After close to a century, a New Orleans family says they finally have closure.
A World War II Marine who traveled across the world to serve his country was never heard from again. For years, his family fought for answers.
And finally, they have them. Today, laying to rest Private Randolph Edwards. Eleanor Tabone has this incredible story.
For 82 years, the Edwards family never knew what happened to their son, to their uncle, to their friend. Private Randolph Ray Edwards travelled across the globe to fight for his country during World War II.
First of all, he volunteered to join the 7th Marines because he wanted action. And he arrived at Guadalcanal in September 18th of 1942. 6 days later, he lost his life.
But Private Edwards never touched back down on American soil.
There was 10 Marines that lost their lives in this particular engagement, and they were buried in 2 different hills at the time. Men in the platoon actually drew a map of who was buried where on these 2 hills, but there were no coordinates.
The 23-year-old's family yearning for answers.
His father spent years writing letters to the Defense Department, wanting to know where was his son and wanting his son's remains brought home.
His father pleading for help to find his son.
Letter after letter, basically said the same thing, that, up until that point, they hadn't been able to identify.
For 82 years, generations of the Edwards family came and went, but this once young private remained lost.
And unfortunately, his remains weren't found until somewhere between 2016, 2018, but weren't identified until May of this year.
Bill Allerton with Greenwood Cemetery says thanks to advancements in science, DNA connected Private Edwards to his living family.
It's taken all these years for him to come home.
While solemn, nearly a century on, the family got the answers they'd been waiting for.
I know his family wanted him to be laid to rest.
Private Edwards is Jeremy Edwards' great-great-uncle. He and his mother sat by the gravesite, witnessing the long-awaited moment the missing private's remains were laid to rest.
They weren't able to find his body at the time, and we're just really grateful that they were finally able to do that for us.
Finally, Private Randolph Edwards is again by his father's side. The father who spent years searching for him, a father who never gave up hope, and a son who only ever wanted to serve his country together again. Eleanor Tabone, WWII, Louisiana.